contemplate the workings of the inner being. Your eyes are wide open, but are you really seeing? Welcome to Mentor in the Mirror. My name is Kole.
My name is Tah.
And this is episode one of our new podcast.
That's right. Number one.
We're here to talk all about the inner workings of you and how to self-source, resource, and at the end of the day, the mentor is in the mirror, and
that mentor is you.
That's you. So let's kick it off a little bit with who are you?
Who are you?
Who am I?
Who are you?
You know who I am.
I know what you look like.
Who do you want me to be?
I'll tell you where I want you to be. Sexy.
Fair. After this, though, it's only episode one.
I'm saying.
Right? Let's give them some background before we get into the debaucherous
I'll give you some
activity.
Some front ground and some background. My name is Tah, and I am what I like to call a biointegration specialist. I live my life fully. I integrate everything about my body into every aspect of my life. And I like to integrate that integration with this beautiful human being named Kole. I practiced nursing in emergency departments all over New York City for 23 years. And 2 years before that, I did surgical nursing for 2 years. So 25 years of background as a nurse in New York City, taking care of people, helping people to unbreak themselves, quote unquote, and to get out of illness. And I took an oath to do no harm to people. And, you know, the stuff that I was doing for years and years and years was just keeping people well enough to come back to the hospital. And I felt like I was doing a lot more harm than I was good for a lot of the time. I was sending people to procedures I know they didn't need. I was giving them medications I didn't really believe that they should be taking. And not to say that I wasn't giving medications that people did need, but there was a lot of stuff that I was giving, a lot of procedures, a lot of diagnostics and stuff that I was sending people to that I know that they didn't need. And it caused me a lot of disruption inside myself because I wasn't being honest. And I took an oath when I graduated from nursing school to do no harm, right? That was the first thing when you do a Hippocratic oath. I promised to do no harm. And that was causing me a lot of disruption because I wasn't being honest. And I was going in and I was following the doctor's orders, and I was still required to be a patient advocate, and it was causing me a lot of disruption. So I eventually wanted to get out of nursing, and I also was a touring musician for quite some time. That's how I met Kole. Touring.
Las Vegas.
Touring.
Not everything stays in Vegas.
I'm saying this didn't stay in Vegas. Didn't stay in Vegas, baby. So, one thing led to another. I started doing fitness to lean away from and make an adjunct to my nursing situation. And I started putting things together, and I found out through my own emotional situations and my desire to get away from something and being dishonest, I ended up breaking my back and not being able to walk for 3 months while I was working at the hospital. And I lost all my clients. I lost my ability to work, my ability to tour. My finances went out the window, and I went through a really rough space. And that's around the time that Kole and I had actually first started interacting with each other. We were doing fitness challenges together and
leaning into health instead of leaning away from illness.
Leaning into wellness.
Yes.
And being away from health care, being into wellness. And so I leaned into that, and one thing led to another. I had this injury, I couldn't move. The long-term relationship that I was in dissolved, and I was like at a baseline. So that baseline area provided me the space to open up and grow and do what I've always wanted to do. And that was really to be able to connect with folks and to have a good fucking time in my life. And Kole had actually introduced me to some amazing stuff in the realm of psychedelics, and it helped me to open up and actually engage with myself a lot more than I had been able to. And prior to that, I had been poo-poo about psychedelics because when you're a nurse, they teach you that any kind of usage of any substance outside of what big pharma tells you can use is a problem. And I didn't drink alcohol till I was 25. I didn't try marijuana till I was 36. And so for me to even contemplate anything outside of the zone that I was brainwashed into staying inside of to, quote unquote, take care of people, um, it was a problem. So that actually, going into that space was very scary for me. It actually opened me up into a space that I never would have imagined being in at the moment if I didn't explore that realm. And now that is something that I am an advocate for. Delving into the self. If you've explored all the other possibilities of medicine, all the other possibilities of a holistic care, if you haven't explored the realm of psychedelics, and I say this in a very safe space with people who are experienced facilitators, physicians, or whatever practitioners that are trained in this stuff that have actually done it themselves. I highly recommend looking into it if you're looking to expose yourself to something that is life changing, altering. I've met so many people that have introduced themselves into expansion through that realm. Anyway, so to get more into about me, I love people, I hug people, and I work in the realm of getting people to actually get their body to infuse into their lives completely. And it's been a joy. It's been wonderful, and the basis of all of that is being honest with the self and being able to actually see where you are so that you can actually move into the things that you feel connected to and move away from the things that you don't feel connected to. And that all starts with body. Body is the place we feel from. We can think from the mind space, and we can be out in the esoterica of spirituality and the heart realms. Body is the one place that we do feel all the time, and it's always in the present moment and now. And if we don't listen to our bodies, we can't be honest with ourselves. That's my take on it. There's no way that you can really be honest with yourself or anyone else.
Can you explain a little bit more the difference between someone that can work out their body like a machine versus someone that is integrating with their body in what we call biointegration?
Yeah. So working out and changing your diet, that can shift your physiology, and you can kind of shoehorn yourself into spaces to kind of force your body to perform a certain way. When you actually integrate and get your body to feel into what it is that you're doing, there's an integration. So it's like, if you're a tennis player, right, and you're eating like a football player, and you're working out like a football player, you may bulk up and get really huge, and you'll be strong. You might be able to swing the racket and hit the ball really hard, but will you be fast enough to move around the court? Are you integrating with the sport that you're looking to move into? And it's the same thing with your relationships. Are you integrating your body into the type of relationships you want to have? The same
And
thing.
with kids
And with
and
kids and
yeah.
with careers, are you integrating your brain into your career? If you're a person that does graphic design or does rocket science or whatever, and you need a lot of brain power, are you eating in a way, and are you exercising in a way to provide your body enough oxygen to be able to feed your brain the way it needs to be fed so that it can be optimal? Are you getting enough sunlight? Are you utilizing the right vitamins and nutrients? Are you eating the way you need to eat? And are you exercising so that your musculature can fortify your posture and what you need to do? So are you able to integrate your body? It's not just about training. And that also includes bringing your stress levels down and being able to recognize that if you're in a toxic, dysfunctional relationship, if you're in a space where shit just ain't working in your life and you keep forcing yourself into that place, you change the hormones in your body, and then that can take your body out of alignment, and your body takes the shape of the way you function. And if you function in a dysfunctional capacity, and you're in that, for whatever it is you're looking to fit yourself into or fit align with, your body is going to end up becoming dysfunctional. So we show people how to actually get their body to fit into everything that they're doing. So yeah, that's me. And I'm gonna lead into Cole. So what are you? Who are you?
Honestly, who cares who I am today? It's going to change an hour from now, 3 hours from now,
I'm saying,
tomorrow. The short version is I got into doing the kind of work that I do because people hit rock bottom before they do anything about it. And I was one of those people. I needed to fully go through transformation the hard way. And what that led to was really my rock bottom was around 26 years old. This was after, I came from a background of I was in a coma from a drug overdose at 17. I had had health conditions my entire life, bad immune system, constantly going to the doctor, colds, flus, bronchitis, you name it, endometriosis. I had an ovarian torsion the first time at 15, laparoscopies, scoliosis, sciatica, bunch of broken bones that I never rehabilitated. So I had a lot of adhesions and injuries, and you can, I'm sure, run yourself through the gamut. Migraines from getting after head injury from getting kicked in the face by a horse. I mean, there was just a lot that needed to be unraveled, and that's what led into what we do now. Was my own path, and I never believed that pain-free was possible, and it wasn't something that I was striving for. What I was looking for was less pain, or taking my pain from a 10 to an 8 so that I could get out of bed, so that I could at least function and have a job. And, that was beyond conceiving having vitality or mobility beyond walking. And so when I hit that space for myself, I was in a marriage that really didn't resonate for me, or for him, for that matter.
Or for me.
Well, for none of us. And we didn't even know each other yet, but still. So what I found for myself was I was in so much physical pain that I couldn't even have dreams anymore. I was drinking huge Magnum bottles of wine at night to sleep, taking Ambien, but Ambien wouldn't work, so it would just shut off my conscious mind. And finally, I decided to stop taking Ambien when one morning I went out to my car, and there were fast food wrappers in the back of my car, which was an indicator that I had gotten into my vehicle while on Ambien, drove to a fast food restaurant, ordered food, paid for it, drove back home, and had no recollection. And so that's when I realized there has to be another way, because not only did I not feel rested, I clearly wasn't even sleeping. And that's a small fraction of hitting that wall that unfortunately most people have to hit before they're really prepared for transformation. And that led me in around 2008, started to learn about inflammation. I had fibromyalgia, arthritis in my knee. I was getting shots in my knees. I was told I would never jump. I couldn't run, all of these things. And at 26 years old, to feel like, okay, the good is behind me. The best that it's going to get is now behind me. And that means the next 50 years is all downhill from me physiologically, mentally, emotionally, all of it. So I had a moment at Disneyland with my ex-in-laws that my knees were so swollen from walking for only a couple hours that I just sat down on the floor and I started to cry. And, at that point I was like, man, even if I wanted to have children, how could I? I couldn't carry the weight of a pregnancy at that point, let alone chase kids around or whatever. And it was making my future look and feel very bleak. And I made the decision right then that it was time to either do something radical with myself, or end it. And when I took suicide off the table, what I realized is that initially I thought I had taken suicide off the table. I hadn't. I was very committed to a slow, painful suicide, just via food and not taking care of myself and being very cruel to myself emotionally, mentally. So that started my journey into exploration of what else was out there as far as possibilities. I'd been fit before. I wouldn't say I got fit in any way that was for good health. It was for lowering body fat. And so, it was a lot of like not eating or excessively working out. So something that I've really come to realize in retrospect is that, not even realize, to live, that for the first time in my life, I feel incredible. I have no pain. I'm not getting sick. At 36 years old, I'm the happiest and healthiest I've ever been, and I have no intentions of stopping now. And knowing what we know now, and Tah got me into fitness, and I became a fitness instructor, became Beachbody's first ever instructor of the year. I loved teaching insanity, defied everything the doctors ever said. You know, they pretty much handed me conditions and diagnosis and said, here, these are yours, take them. Like I couldn't leave the house without them, you know, and I wore them and kept them close to my heart for a long time. And I am so grateful to not carry them anymore. And yeah, so that's a bit, I mean, you'll hear lots more about our stories. There's a lot to
tons.
it. We both have had 9 lives.
We gave you the very, very, very short.
The smallest piece.
Seriously, the snippet version.
Yeah, just so you can get a little bit more information on us. The truth is that we'll be sharing about our stories. However, we're not our stories.
We are not.
Who we are now is who we have committed daily and do commit to be daily. And then we're here to support that for each other and
everybody else
and others. Yeah.
And in a no bullshit kind of fashion. We're not here to fluff things up. We're not here to soften things for people. We're here to be really upfront and straight up with everybody.
And we can do it with fun.
Right. We can do it with fun and
playing.
We can also do it in a manner that serves people.
Kindness, compassion.
Yeah, I mean, you know, having things very myopic and one-sided. Oh, it has to be serious all the time, and or it has to be too funny.
Boring.
Yeah. Nah, man, we're gonna give it to you real. We're gonna give it to you raw. We're gonna talk about all the topics that we possibly can. We're also leaving things open and welcome for you to ask us whatever it is that you want us to talk about, and we will add on as much as we can add on. The more you give us, the more we can give you. So we can make this a volley. You know, you give us the topics and stuff that you want us to talk about, and we'll bring these things to the table and show you how you can apply them to your lives, how we've applied them to our lives. We are constantly evolving. We are constantly integrating things into our bodies, into our physiologies, and our physiologies into everything else. We don't believe that we are separate from the environment. We believe that we are interdependent upon the environment. So we are interactive with the air, with the water, with the elements, with the bugs, with the dogs, with the other people, with everything on the planet. We are interdependent. So for you to be able to give us information about what you'd like us to talk about and our perspective on it gives you another perspective. It doesn't make
we can go deep.
It doesn't make us gurus. It doesn't make us better than you. It doesn't make us the right person. It gives you a perspective. And as we go forward and we talk about stuff, we'll talk about what we call the 5 investments to integrating your body into everything you want to do in life. And the 5th investment is a reflective and connective perspective. And that's what we want to provide you with, a perspective that reflects you and connects with you if you connect with it. If it doesn't connect with you, you throw it by the wayside and move on to the next thing. But we're going to give you perspectives. And most of the time when we work with people, that's what we're giving, perspective. And people take that perspective and they apply it to themselves, and they see and they know how to ask the questions. So you stand in the mirror and you ask yourself, everybody is a mirror. Every person is a mirror to you. They're a mirror to me. What's in the mirror? So I ask you to meet me in the mirror. Meet us in the mirror. Your mentor is in the mirror. And if we all stand in the mirror together and look, we can give each other that reflective and connective perspective. And that's why this podcast is called Mentor in the Mirror, because the greatest mentor in your life is you.
And until you're honest with you, no mentor, guru, spiritual leader can do anything for you. Until you get that self-honesty, nothing else you do is authentic. It may be genuine in your desire. It is not coming from authenticity if you are not being authentic with yourself.
Right.
So through this process, we're going to talk about how societal constructs like gender, family, religion, government show up in your body, and somatic awareness of what is your body trying to communicate to you. You know, as Tah always says, people put mind and spirituality in this higher echelon of importance and significance. And it's time for us to fully integrate all of those cosmologies into our biology in a way that is functional. And you won't hear us referring to things, at least not intentionally, as good or bad. We say that something is functional or dysfunctional. And that's for whatever you're looking to obtain. And through this process, that's what we are looking to really illuminate for you, is reflection so that you can go look in the mirror and ask yourself these very important questions on what do you believe? What have you been told? And you'll hear us say frequently and often, who told you that?
Who told you that?
Who told you that?
Who told you that?
Is that something that you are consciously participating in or subconsciously participating in? Because that is just as important to know is what subconscious things are you ascribe to that are manipulating not only your decision making, but your ability to create the life that you want to have.
And we're really looking to fortify empowerment of the individual. Society has its rules. All of these structures have their rules, and the societies and rules are empowered in the structure. We're looking to help people to be empowered as individuals so that we can actually create society that fortifies the individuals, not enslaves them. We are really about freedom. We're about connection. We're about individuals working as a collective, not a collective having jurisdiction over individuals. There's a difference. I'm going to say that again. We are about individuals being empowered as a collective, not a collective having power and control over individuals. I don't think that that's the functional way for things to go. And we've created a lot of structures. We've created a lot of paradigms and a lot of constructs that were probably most likely designed to help human beings, and we have turned around to start serving the structures. So as we move into the next phase of human evolution in getting the body to integrate with everything that's going on around us, especially with the advent of our technology, and we're going to get into all of that stuff.
How shame and guilt shows up in your body.
All of that stuff.
Yes.
And it's really important for us to really start seeing these things. And so we're bringing light to the table, and we're bringing people into the mirror so that they can see themselves and each other.
Yes.
Super important.
So this is your invitation to meet us in the mirror because you are the mentor in the mirror. So if you love this, if you're stoked, if you're as excited as we are, let us know because we want to hear from you. As much as we love conversing with each other, we welcome and invite conversation with you as well. So let's do this. Let's really go to expand our perceptual lens to open ourselves up to other possibilities like trying on an outfit. You, as we explore some other possibilities of reality that you can actually create, you'll be able to see if it resonates for you. And you may realize that you have been adhering to a lot of bullshit that's making you miserable and making your life very hard.
True indeed. So make sure you visit us on Instagram at Tah Kole, TAHKOLE, on Facebook, Tah Kole, TAHKOLE, and check us out at tahkole.com, TAHKOLE.com. It's all Tah Kole. Make sure you rate this. If you like this, please give us a 5-star rating.
If you're as excited as we are.
5-star rating. Put a comment below. It helps the algorithms to go up so we can be exposed to more people so that we can show more people what we're talking about and help more people to be empowered, because that's what we're about. Empowerment of the individual, empowerment of you, empowerment of yourself so that you can empower your kids and we can grow together in a sustainable planet where we can sustain ourselves.
So meet us in the mirror because you are the mentor in the mirror.
The workings of the end to be, and your eyes are wide open, but all you really see is if you cut us, do we not bleed? If you take from us, do we not